Howdy, everybody. Welcome to episode 22 of The Main Stand. I'm one of your hosts, Patrick, joined by only Mitchell today.
Only me.
We'll let Josh use some of his well-earned PTO. He went 7 for 8 last week with Rick's picks, so he's hammered in Vegas or something. We don't really know.
Yeah, we haven't heard from him. It's pretty lonely out here for this Liverpool fan today. I really could use the backup, but that's not the case.
Nah, I'll go easy on you, man. COVID's probably done enough number on your
Oh, shut
squad.
the
You know,
fuck up.
all
Clearly it
those.
did. Clearly it did. Today was not a good day.
Anywho, so we got a little bit of a review to hop into here to start the game. A little bit of housekeeping. I think really the only big thing was Josh, you're not here, but shout out you, big dog. 7 for 8. Man made the people his money this weekend. I don't remember the exact bet that he missed on. It was the Napoli game, right?
No, it was.
Napoli?
Yeah, Juve Napoli.
Juve Napoli. He just missed the under 2.5 on Juve Napoli. Other than that, man had a great weekend of bets. So good for you, Josh. I hope you're hammered in the Western Hemisphere somewhere. Anyway, so we got a couple of cool transfers that happened over the weekend here. Or just over.
Interesting ones.
Yeah, it's El Ghazi going on loan to Everton with Lucas Digne going the other way. Um, that's crazy, but not as crazy as Coutinho being confirmed by Villa. That is a really big name signing. Villa look like they mean business this window, huh?
They do, and I think Steven Gerrard having the ability to pull Coutinho to his Villa side and Digne just opens the door for a big summer too. I've seen some people talking about. I think it was Jamie Redknapp actually mentioned that if Gerrard has this great relationship with players that he was able to play with at Liverpool with the likes of Luis Suarez, is that somebody that Villa could end up targeting as a retirement move for Suarez to come back to the Premier League? It's definitely not out of the cards. I think it will come down to money, but we talked about Coutinho last week. And I think I nailed it on the head. I think Coutinho going to Villa is the right move for him right now in his career. Going to play under Gerrard, somebody who is his captain in his breakout years, is going to be huge, I think, for Coutinho. He's already been pictured on the grounds in the shirt with the badge, all the noise. Yeah, Coutinho is official.
Yeah.
And then on the Moneybags squad, Newcastle, they make their first major move in Chris Wood. Do you think that has anything to do with them losing out the race on Digne? I know Digne was rumored to be going to Newcastle for a few
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, I think that ultimately probably does come down to that. I just think Newcastle needs some fucking help, man. They're going to be the richest club in the championship if their season keeps going the way it's going.
Yes, they do need help. They do need all of the money moves this winter. Maybe we should have done a money moves for Newcastle.
That seems too easy, though. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Um,
what player do you want to pick? Spend the
uh, just,
money.
to, just to backtrack though on Coutinho, I am interested to see if he finds his feet again at Aston Villa. It was like next to impossible for him to break into a couple of really dog shit Barcelona teams, and the only real game time he got at Bayern Munich was when they were blowing teams out of the water, and he would come on in like the 60th or 70th minute and just like garbage time. So obviously, still a really talented player. I don't think anybody's going to deny the fact that Coutinho has bags of talent. I'm just curious to see if he'll be able to bring out, the name that got so many Liverpool fans to call him the little magician, and actually, if we ever will see the best of Philippe Coutinho again, really, I'll be watching that pretty closely. I think it's a good move for him, but yeah, I'm just interested to see if he'll actually be able to find his form again.
Absolutely. You want to jump into those are really the only big transfer quick hits since the last time we recorded. You want to jump into some review of a few games we saw over the weekend?
Yeah, yeah. One of them didn't happen over the weekend. It happened like 2 days ago. We got an El Clasico. We got Real and Barcelona. Honestly, I think this fixture's kind of lost its luster with Barcelona being fucking terrible and Real Madrid just like really feeling like they're pulling away, kind of as they once did in the pre-Messi era of Barcelona. It just lately it's really felt lopsided, and Real really are just like the better side, and they're showing it every time they meet on the pitch. But it was a really good game the other day. They met in the, I believe it was the Super Copa, like the Spanish equivalent to the FA Cup. I don't exactly remember the name of the tournament that they were playing in, but Real go 1-0 up, Barca equalize, Real go 2-1 up, Barca equalize, force extra time, and then ultimately Real Madrid end up putting it away in like the 107th minute. They scored the game winner there. But Barca looked all right. They looked one of the better games I've seen them play under Xavi, despite falling 3-2. Ousmane Dembele played one of the best games I've ever seen out of him in a Barcelona shirt, despite not getting a goal or an assist. And Real Madrid just look imperious, man. They look so good. Vinicius Jr. has like really come into his own for that Madrid side this year, and honestly, I think Benzema like has been since like last year really has been like forcing his name into that best striker in the world argument, and he played really well too. So
He's always been that kind of like forgotten name in that conversation. I think
yeah, it's tough, all those years he spent some of like the best years playing some of his best football with this guy, maybe you've heard of him, named Ronaldo on the left wing.
I don't know. I don't know if I know him.
Yeah, I've never really heard of him, but apparently he made it pretty tough for Benzema to look like a good player. But yeah, man, I've always rated Big Benz. I think Benzema's one of those players that the way you feel about him kind of shows where your ball knowledge is actually at. If you've always rated Benzema, I rate you.
Yeah, Benzema always is the guy to get the job done, and to be that anchor after losing Ronaldo and kind of having an aged Real Madrid side. You have Luka Modric, you have Casemiro.
Yeah, they are fucking
They're
gonna
old.
run that
Tony Cruz.
Tony Cruz, Casemiro midfield till the fucking wheels fall
Like
off.
to have that anchor, and Benzema, even a veteran himself now, like they're still producing, and to have that strength after so many different changes to the side, but ultimately not making very many moves to youth in the side, having Vinicius come in and find his footing after being rated over the last couple of years as a high quality player, and really showing it this year finally.
Yeah, he's been really good for them.
It's good to see.
Yeah.
Back into England, we had some FA Cup drama. Arsenal losing 1-0 to Nottingham Forest.
Hell yeah, man.
I don't know the exact I don't know the exact stat, but Arsenal getting knocked out for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Lewis Graben with the lone goal for Nottingham Forest. Great result for a club like Forest, man. Tough to see Arsenal lose that. Like, I don't know, given the form they've been in, that was interesting. But Forest played a great game. Lewis Graben, just kind of fucking grabbed that goal to, a pun kind of intended, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, it was just a big result for Nottingham Forest. And that's, that's why they call it the magic of the FA Cup,
It is a very special tournament. Having those like the FA Cup is a cool tournament because you get those crazy matchups, crazy results. The smaller clubs and maybe like a league or two down from the Premier League are always going to get a result. You're always going to have a few of those games, and this was one of them. But I think this was probably the most shocking result any Arsenal fan could have imagined going into a game like this.
Yeah, I don't think any Arsenal fan would have expected to lose this game, which makes it that much bigger for Nottingham Forest.
Arsenal are the FA Cup. They're synonymous. Like Arsenal's success is found in the FA Cup as of late, and it's hard to see a team like that get knocked out this early. But
yeah, FA stands for Arsenal, right?
Yes, I have heard that. We can confirm that with Justin. I'm sure he's buzzing after today's game.
Yeah, we
But
can move into the next one. We got some Soda Cup action. Happened a couple hours ago. Um, Mitch almost didn't want to come onto the podcast because of this fucking game.
Pat almost did this solo. I a few kind of quick
Air your grievances, Mitchell. Air
quick
your grievances.
quick thoughts. The thoughts that came into my head were uh, light a children's hospital on fire and throw all of my Liverpool shit into it. Um, just break everything in my near vicinity. 0-0 draw. Arsenal played with a man down for 70 minutes. We had 12 shots, 1 on target, and held 80% of the possession. This Liverpool side, I don't understand what the hiccup is and has been over the last 8 weeks. It's just they're lacking something. And at this point, it feels more like Chelsea, even though they're getting their draws and staying in that fight for the top 3, it feels like Liverpool are going to lose out on second place. I know this is a Soda Cup game, but it's been carrying on into our Premier League matchups. We're lacking creativity. We're slower on the build-up. The passing has been lackluster. Virgil has looked off. Trent has been off for a few weeks now, really since his goal at the beginning of December. Trent hasn't been there defensively or offensively. Jota was probably our standout player today, just with the pressure he was applying.
I thought Minamino looked pretty good.
Minamino looked good too. He probably the second shout or the player of the match for Liverpool. But I wouldn't even want to give one to this side. It's just when you're playing a squad like Arsenal where they lack the depth, you've seen it happen. They're coming off of a 1-0 loss to Nottingham Forest. We have a week off to prepare for this game, even though our training facility is shut down. Players aren't playing, and we come out and we put out another flat performance. It was just sloppy ball cycling, no movement. Hendo, another shitty performance from our captain. I just don't.
Until you think that he needs to get benched, even though he's club captain, in all honesty.
I think it should have been done 2 weeks ago. But we don't have the depth right now. Losing Naby to AFCON, losing Mane, who hasn't really been his prolific self, but is still producing this year, and of course Mo Salah. It's a huge hit to our club, and that was evident today.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how you guys look going forward without Salah in the side.
We had the return of Curtis Jones after his eye injury. He actually almost lost his eye. I don't know if you heard about this.
No, I had no idea.
He got hit in the face and tore the back of his eye. So that's why he's been out for the last few weeks.
Like a retina tear?
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, so and then we're still missing Thiago. Harvey Elliott is getting closer, which I think is going to be make or break for our side at this point.
Yeah, that'll be a lift for sure.
I don't know. It's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking to be at home, have that much possession, that many chances, and to blow them. Matip skying balls over the crossbar. Minamino, Jota, Firmino can't get open, let alone produce a thing. Just sloppy in the box. It seemed like the closer we got to the 18-yard, we just forgot how to play football. And it is what it is. It's a draw. There's a second leg at Arsenal. We'll talk about it when we get there, but it's just not a great day to be a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, I mean, pretty insane to look at the lineup Liverpool put out and see that they didn't win that game a man up. I don't really know what the issue is. Honestly, the only place in that starting 11 that just looks dead and you hit the nail on the head, is that midfield, man. Milner, Fabinho, and Henderson. There's not one person that I trust to play a forward pass in that midfield
Nope.
three. That's coming from a guy who watched Milner play for his club for a few years too. Yeah, man. I just think that the midfield is the place that you guys seem to be losing a lot of your games. I think Van Dijk hasn't really looked like himself since coming back from that injury, and you just aren't scoring the goals. And I think that honestly, I think it's only going to get worse with Salah not on the side right now. He's been like the saving grace. Trent can maybe find his form back. I think Trent is pretty good going forward, and putting some of that creative burden on him and getting him freed up on the right might help out in the long run. But I just think that there's some balance issues in that Liverpool 11,
sure.
among other things right now. But that being said, still third in the league, still score loads of goals. So just kind of see how
Just
things pan out. Yeah, I mean, just it's tough. And your last few games, I think I agree with you that things have definitely looked rough from a form perspective for Liverpool too over the past few weeks. So I guess we'll see how things turn out with them. I think they'll end up pretty much okay. I don't know. I don't know if Chelsea will end up actually holding on to that second spot or not. I think once Salah comes back from AFCON, you guys will find your feet again. And I don't know. This Liverpool team just feels too good to me to keep down in this rut of form.
It does, and I think that's where a lot of my frustration comes from. It's like we have the ability, we've been there, done that. We've found that success now, and we're just having trouble maintaining it. And
yeah. I hear that.
That's talking Liverpool.
That's a mini fan therapy session from Mitchell right there. We can hop into the preview for this weekend. The first game on the docket's probably the biggest game of the weekend too. Might even be the biggest fixture in world football. I haven't looked at any of the other leagues, but I don't really think there's anything going on that's as big as this one here.
I took a look across the top five, and there really isn't much going on.
And it's 1 versus 2 in the Premier League. It's City versus Chelsea. Mitch, before I give my 2 cents, how do you see this game going?
I see City winning easily because Kepa should be in net for Chelsea, right?
Yeah, but he's actually looked like he's been in all right form since Tuchel came in. It feels like he kind of found a little bit of confidence in himself, which is good. That's good to see any player. I don't think it's going to be as cut and paste as an easy City win. I thought Chelsea looked pretty good against Liverpool.
They certainly did.
Premier League game. We know they're wicked deadly on the counterattack, and it took a pretty fortunate City goal by Jesus in the return fixture to break them down at Stamford Bridge. And I imagine they're going to set up really, really similarly to the way they did in that first game. The only player City is without is Riyad Mahrez because of AFCON. I'm not sure about. There were a few positive COVID cases. I know that Foden is questionable with COVID. And outside of that, I think Stones has COVID as well. Kyle Walker might still be questionable. I think he did play in the midweek game though. So I think it'll be interesting to see who actually starts for that City team. If City can start a relatively strong 11, I see them winning. Even if they don't start a relatively strong 11, I think City are still definitely my favorites going into this one. I think it'll probably be a close one. I'm looking like a 1-0 probably is where I'm gonna put my money. I think Chelsea are a pretty tough team to break down, and
if Rudiger plays, like if Raheem Sterling is gonna be the guy this weekend, and Rudiger is man marking him like he did Salah, I think it's gonna be an incredibly difficult game for City.
But City has so much problems coming from the midfield.
They
and I think that's what win their game. You've got guys like Gundogan making runs from deep. You've got De Bruyne, who looks like he's really back to his best these past couple of weeks. Bernardo Silva's been really good this season. Rodri is like super solid at stopping like where Chelsea is the most deadly, and that's counterattacks. So I'm confident. I think City can come away with the 3 points this weekend. Maybe that's just the homer in me, backing my favorite club, but I think it's going to be another 1-0 to City. Regardless of the result. That being said, City are actually without their most potent offensive player in Riyad Mahrez. He's away at AFCON, so it'll be interesting to see what the City front three looks like. I think a fit Foden is a big game changer for City too, but I guess we'll have to see come match day.
And if he's coming back from COVID, and if it was anything like the COVID that I had, It's gonna take some time.
That's true. That's true. Next one up on the docket, Mitch, you get to talk about Liverpool again. I see your only note is we might lose this. I think that's crazy. You're at Anfield. I think you'll beat Brentford.
We were at Anfield today. If we don't lose, I think it'll be end up being a draw. Honestly, the Brentford side that I've seen over the last few weeks play a very quick counterattack. They put the pressure on when it's needed most, and I think they're going to be able to take advantage of a lacking Liverpool side. Um, if it goes in Liverpool's favor, we put out our best 11 that we have available. We could end up squeaking out a 2-1 win. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet in this game. And after today's performance, I'm strongly questioning our ability to score a needed goal.
That's fair.
So it's I think this is it. If AFCON wasn't going on, I don't know if this is necessarily a big trap game, but with all things considered, I think this is a trap game for Liverpool right now. In the position we're in.
It feels like one.
So I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope we go out and put out a performance like we did at United. But we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we will. I'm going to be having my eyes on that one. I think Liverpool will end up bouncing back and getting the 3 points, but you could just never really tell, man. This Liverpool side this season in particular has felt so up and down. So
hot and cold, and when we're cold, we are freezing.
Up next, actually, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
Mitchell,
no.
But up next is actually in a game that I think is going to be one of the better ones of the weekend. That's Tottenham Arsenal. I think this game's going to have goals in it, man.
I do too. I think it's going to be very back and forth. It's going to be quick, and it's going to be physical. After what I saw from Arsenal today, they have every ability to play the game how they want. And Arteta clearly put together a game plan for when Xhaka did what Xhaka does.
Xhaka does what Xhaka do.
Xhaka did the thing. He fucking karate kicked Jota right in the chest.
Yeah, man, that red card was just another false positive for you guys.
It was just another, empty hope. But I like what Arteta has been doing with that Arsenal side. As much as it pains me to say it after a day like today. And then Tottenham have weapons as well. Bergwijn's been targeted by a few different clubs. If he gets minutes this weekend, I would expect him to put some sort of solid performance out. Harry Kane has been
good too again. Yeah,
Harry Kane's been looking a little more comfortable, and then Heung-Min Son has just been Heung-Min Son all year long. So
yep. Very good player. Yeah, I'm really excited for the North London derby, man. I'm hoping for like high scoring draw or a high scoring win on either side.
Like 4-3. I feel like this is like a 4-3 game.
Yeah, as a neutral, this game feels like it's got like 5 or 6 goals in it, so I'm really excited for this one. Last on the list, Villa United. I think this is only here because people are interested to see what this new Steven Gerrard team looks like. I bet Digne starts, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Coutinho get put right into the starting 11 against a side that, he's probably got some animosity towards. And this United team has looked pretty bad. So I'm intrigued to see. That being said, I don't think Villa look great defensively. And if this United side wakes up, they might cause them some problems. But Bruno hasn't really looked like himself. United haven't looked amazing at the back. A majority of the star forwards in this United side have been pretty out of form this year. Guys like Marcus Rashford struggling to even get minutes. Jadon Sancho finally looking like half a player under Ranić when he's gotten some game time, but he hasn't really impressed me too much. I think he's looked all right. United's most dangerous player since the change in manager has been Cavani coming off the bench, honestly. So I think this one's good because it's a down United and a Villa that feels like they should be on the up and up after the transfer window moves that they've had. So I'm just curious to see if Villa can really get up for it, given all the circumstances, and get a big win.
I do see it. I do see it going Villa's way. Just after the last few weeks, not convincing results out of United. They haven't looked any sort of improved under Ranić at all.
No, I think a lot of the same. It literally looks like they didn't change managers.
And I think that speaks volumes. If we see Digne and Coutinho in the starting 11 or in the squad at all this weekend, I just think that bolsters the Villa side. I feel like that's exciting. It's new. It's fresh, and Gerrard is getting players that he wants to see at his club. Finally, yep. So I think that just bolsters that Villa side that little bit more going into the weekend.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more with that. I think it's a really good weekend for Villa to get a result. So that was our preview. We would love to give you some Rick's picks, but Drosh is too drunk in Vegas to care.
He's hammered.
So instead, Mitchell is going to tell us about the weather over in Florence.
The weather is, I would say, fully cloudy at this point. The boys in purple put up a 4-0 stinker against Torino on Monday. However, in the Coppa Italia today, they turned it around and pumped Napoli 5-2. The Serie A this season has been so weird.
Chaotic, man.
Very, very chaotic. Do I think the nail in the coffin for a top 6 finish for the Purple Boys has been hit? No, I don't. They square up against 19th place Genoa this weekend. So I do see Fiorentina winning this game quite easily. I would say 2-1, 2-0, if not 3-1. Still no news on Dusan Vlahovic and his pursuance at Arsenal. There are some more rumors though that he could be heading to Tottenham. So we'll keep an eye on that. But for now, the sun is trying to poke through those clouds in Fiorentina.
Yeah, you gotta hope Calgary beat Roma too this weekend. Yes. You got 6 and 7 going against 18 and 19. So big weekend. And for Fiorentina's top 6 hopes and Mitchell's Nintendo Fiorentina kit. So
we'll see.
Stay tuned for that. We're almost at, it's getting closer and closer to the day of judgment, man. It's like what, 17 games left in the season?
17 or 18.
So I'm starting to sweat because they're still in 6th place, but I'm confident that they won't pull it out. So that was really all we had for the most part. We'll kind of close it out with a returning segment here. We got our top lads and our hair dryers for this quick little episode here today. So I'll go first.
Yeah, go first.
I don't mind kicking things off. My top lad is Lewis Graben. Scored the lone goal in Nottingham Forest 1-0 win over Arsenal. Just big goal for a club as historic as Forest. I just think it's dope to see the little guys beat the big guys, and that was a crazy upset, and it was just big for the club in general. So that was cool. And Arsenal fans, have been on Twitter all week, talking about their great 30 minutes against Man City. So I'm happy something happened to shut them the fuck up. My hair dryer,
and then you're gonna turn around and back them. So.
Nah, I'm not really backing Arsenal for this one. I just think there's something fishy going on over in Merseyside, man. There's less than like 0.25% chance to get 10 false positives all at once. And Liverpool just happened to report 10 right before going into a game against Arsenal that they knew they weren't going to have Salah and Mane for. They wanted the little extra rest. All right, yep, sure, whatever.
Rest doesn't do shit.
They're my hair dryer. Just something feels funny over there. I said what I said.
Yeah, I'll let that one slide this time. That is the last time I'm going to let a false positive thing affect me. I'm tired of it. I've heard it all day, and it's bullshit. But since you had that as your hair dryer, I'll move on. My top lad, Mohamed Kamara, the Sierra Leone goalkeeper, their first time in AFCON since '96. This man put on an absolute show. He is the epitome of what every goalkeeper should be: fast, exciting, and ruthless. The man was a crackhead for 90 straight minutes and deservedly won the man of the match. If you haven't seen the highlights from that Sierra Leone game, please do yourself a favor. And then my hairdryer, staying with AFCON, considering all of Liverpool's talent went there. The Tunisia-Mali game, the official blew the game dead twice.
Twice before 90, bro.
Once in the 83rd, and then I think he let like 3 minutes go by thinking that was stoppage time and blew it dead at the end of the 85th minute or 87th minute, something like that. Like,
how?
The man looked a mess. It looked like he picked up a red T-shirt from Walmart and ironed on a piece of paper that said FIFA official. It was an absolute mess of
what game. What watch did he? What clock was that dude fucking synced up to, man? How do you blow a game dead twice and be wrong?
I don't know. Whoever the official watch sponsor is, I doubt it's Rolex or like Tag Heuer. Like we need a time sponsor for AFCON for sure. Get this man a new watch.
They got fucking off-brand Timexes is what it feels like over there. That's insane. Absolutely, I cannot believe that shit, man. When I read that happened, I was just like, how? Like in such a big tournament like that too, man. It just like, you just hate to see it, bro. You just like you'd hope that it was like an honest mistake too. That's all I have to say. You hope that that's like an honest mistake and it's not like any attempt at anything fishy.
It looks sus for sure. And
yeah.
Tunisia didn't even come back on the pitch. They like the tournament organizers were like trying to get the teams back onto the pitch to finish the last like 3 minutes in stoppage time of the game, but like it just in shambles. People say soccer isn't entertaining. This shit is wild.
Yeah, for real. Insane.
But I think that's all we had for this week. Josh will not be making anybody any money because he's spending all of his
in Vegas,
and we should have him back next week. And once we get back into a steady string of games and more transfer news, it should be a little bit more to talk about. But it was a pretty dull weekend.
Yeah, the cup games make it tough, man.
They do.
And, admittedly, we probably could be paying a bit more attention to AFCON, so try to do that for next week. I'm trying to follow Algeria through this thing. I'm rooting for Riyad Mahrez, so.
I have 3 different clubs to root for. It's
I just got Riyadh. I just got Riyadh, really, so let's see him do it again. Victory like he did a couple years ago.
I really hope, like, in my heart of hearts, I really want Egypt to win it, but I don't think that is a possibility.
Nah.
I don't see. I don't even know. I'm just gonna watch the games for the shithousery, crazy goalkeepers and dumb officials.
There's a lot of talent out of Africa too. There's a lot of really, really good players from that continent. So I think we would be remiss to not give it a bit more of a light.
And I think just in general, everybody should be paying a little bit more attention to it. I don't think it gets the rep it should.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
It's equal to the Euros. It's equal to those big time tournaments where you're playing for your country and it just doesn't get the respect it deserves.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna make it a point to watch some AFCON over the weekend here. I got a nice 4-day weekend coming up because I get to start a new job here, so I gave myself a couple of days of rest. So let's use that to watch some AFCON and come back next week with some fun African Cup of Nation reviews. All right, guys. If you made it this far, thank you very much. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, you subscribe, you ding the notification bell, leave us a comment, let us know, games we should be watching, give us your thoughts on some of my terrible opinions. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, share the podcast, plug it into your car speakers on your way to work, plug it into your mom's speakers on your way to the grocery store with her. rate the podcast if you're listening to it on Spotify. Share it to your Instagram story. Just tell the world about the main stand.
Yes, do that thing. Like
Hell
that
yeah.
thing. Share that thing. We will
Peace
see
out,
y'all
everybody.
next week. Deuces.
And that's the